cannot believe that I get to say the words, I am pregnant. What a crazy statement to make. I am having a baby. I am growing a baby. We are starting a family, which is honestly my absolute dream come true. My wildest dreams, my youngest dreams, was to always be a mummy, and it's happening. It's happening. So I thought that for my first kind of official pregnancy video, I would do a Q&A and kind of recap what's been happening the last 4 months, because I'm nearly halfway, which is crazy. Not long to go to meet the baba. I've got myself a herbal tea here, and I've got some questions on my phone. So I guess the most logical place to start is how I feel, which I can only describe in one word, and that is over the moon. Okay, that's 3. I was gonna say excited, but actually I just feel over the moon. We are so beyond excited to have a little darling in our life. It's just, quite honestly, the best thing ever. We were getting to a point in our life where we were doing mini golf 1 too many weekends a month, but we were just like, this isn't what life's about. This isn't what our purpose is. I'm 28 and Nath is 33, so I feel that we're at a very good point in our lives. We've traveled a lot. We've worked really hard at our careers. We're at a very good place. We are healthy. We have a very lovely life. We're very lucky, and we were honestly just like, I think the next stage for us is a little darling. So if we backtrack all the way to how long were we trying for a baby, so I feel so incredibly blessed and lucky to say that we fell pregnant within 2 months, which is so lucky. Obviously people can take years and years and years, and let me tell you, that month that I didn't fall pregnant, that first month, it was quite shocking how emotional I was over it. I was heartbroken. I was very sad, and so I can only imagine a smidge of that pain you must get after a year, after 2 years. So I do feel absolutely honoured, and to be honest, we thought that it would take around a year. That's what the NHS says. That being said, I was ready to prepare my body to have a baby about 10 years ago. I have all the supplement information saved. I have all of the perfect dietary information saved, what you should increase, what you should remove. For me, I think a key game changer was one of the supplements that I took. I'm going to do a whole separate video on how I got pregnant so quickly, because I was reading up on a blog post, and from this blog post, every woman that says they followed this specific routine of supplements fell pregnant very quickly after doing so, even after having fertility issues. So I think that's a big part of it, and obviously I'm young, I have a very good diet, which is so key. I'm not very stressed. I knew stress was a really big factor in why you won't get pregnant. If you're going through something that's very stressful and awful in life, or you're putting stress on getting pregnant, your body just won't allow for it, because it's using so much energy on that stress and how you're feeling elsewhere. It doesn't have enough energy to grow a whole life. But I will do a separate video on that to give all of my tips and tricks. How did I find out I was pregnant? So obviously we were trying, and so I was looking for symptoms all the time. That first month that we were trying, I thought I was pregnant. I wasn't. When you're trying for a baby, it honestly does become obsessive, just completely engulfs you, because that is what you're fixated on. So how I found out I was pregnant, it was a Sunday, and I'd actually gone down to Cheltenham for the day to meet my best friend who lives in Wales. It was really quite funny actually, because she was very unwell that day. She'd been out the night before, and she had to go off and actually be sick. Little did I know that would be me in a couple of weeks. But my period was 1 day late, which isn't out of the normal. That had happened a couple of months before. 1 day late, so I thought, okay, let's see what happens today. Another really random one as well, which is a few days before my period, I usually get this huge hormonal spot in this area here, in the center between my eyebrows, and I didn't get it. I thought that was really weird because I have honestly had this ever since I came off the pill. Every single time I've got this spot, and it didn't. And always I get severe emotional PMS symptoms before my period's due. Waterworks, Niagara Falls, crying hysterically. I did get that this time. And I was crying over the fact that I didn't have a baby. And Nathan's like, oh, well, I guess we're not pregnant this time then, because it follows the same pattern, these emotions. But it would have just been pregnancy hormones. It's just crazy. So anyway, got home, I was like to Nathan, my period still isn't here. It was about 6 o'clock at night. I was like, usually if it's a day late, it would come by sort of 2 o'clock. So that's really, really strange. Just like, do a test. So I did a test, it was negative, and I was like, I know my body. I know my body, and if my period still isn't here tomorrow, I'm pregnant. So it was the next day, my period still wasn't there. Got to 1 o'clock, still wasn't there. I was messaging Nate like, what the hell? It still isn't here. He was like, do a test, and I was like, oh, I don't want it to be negative. I had one kind of simple Sainsbury's test that was really slow to show the results as well. So I was waiting, and it was a really faint second line. And I was like, no, like, surely not. And then it was getting darker and darker and darker. And I filmed my reaction as well, which is in my pregnancy announcement video. And it just didn't happen. So obviously I had to confirm it. So I literally ran to Boots, picked up about 4 tests. I wanted the digital ones to confirm to him, and it says, you're pregnant. I needed it in black and white. Came back, did it. It said, you're pregnant. My heart was overwhelming. Nath came back, and then I told him, and we were both so shocked at first. It really is quite shocking. That was the emotion for about a good month, I want to say. It is just shocking because you want something so much, and then it actually happens, and then you have to process it, and whoo, shocking. And then it turns to excitement. How did we announce the news to family and friends? So it's quite hard because all of our family and friends live all over the country in all different areas, and so we had to time it when we were seeing them, and it was really important for us to tell everybody in person. Obviously, I didn't want to just fire off a text or do a FaceTime call. I really just wanted to wait till everybody in person. So we did different things for different people. So for my mum and brother, I bought little scratch cards, and I told them that they had to scratch off the card but not open the card, because inside the card I put a picture of the scan. And my mum thought it was a prank at first. Nathan and I love a prank. She refused to open the card, and I was like, oh my god, come on, open the card. And so Nathan was persuading her to open the card anyway. So they finally start scratching away. My brother scratches it off quicker than my mum does, and he's like, you're having a baby, wow. And my mum looked at him and was like, and let me tell you, I can only describe her reaction as pure hysteria.
Calm down. I know. No, it's emotional.
It's emotional. She was shaking, she was hyperventilating, she was having a panic attack. It was quite wild and crazy, to be honest with you, but she was just so happy. It's because she thought that she'd never get a grandchild. And what the maddest thing was is that a few weeks ago she was like, oh, I just wish I had a grandchild. And I was like, oh, why is that then? What would you do? She was like, it would just be amazing. I'll take them to the zoo, I'll take them to Thorpe Park, I'll take them on different activities. And because I've had a girl and a boy, I know what to do with each one. And she was just like planning this little life with them, and it was just so sweet. And yeah, she was very, very happy. My brother was very, very happy. And then Nath's mum and auntie, we put the scan into Easter eggs, and we did a little Easter egg hunt for them. So they were in the garden looking all around, they found their eggs, and then I said, right, now it's time to open it up for clue number 2. And obviously they had no idea that there was a baby scan inside, and so they open it up and they just see a baby scan.
No! No! No!
And it It was just so lovely. And then everybody else, we already had the scan photos, so we just showed the scan photos, and oh, everybody's reaction has just been so lovely. Did I experience any early symptoms? So something that absolutely threw me was the tiredness that you get straight away, not even a day to breathe. It is instant. For about 3 weeks you're knackered. I was finishing work and going straight to bed. There's no time for dinner, there's no energy to cook dinner, didn't care, needed to sleep. The headaches are also quite severe as well, because if you think about it, it takes that much energy for something to go from nothing to something. It's like a little seed in the garden, has to grow from absolutely little to a big tree. It's crazy. So very, very, very tired in the beginning, and then that wore off and I started to feel normal. I was like, okay, this is great, got some energy back. And then I started to get morning sickness ever so slightly. I say ever so slightly because I would go to the gym, come back from the gym, and the swelling and running and the up and down and the running and the weights at the gym would make me be sick. And then after I'd be sick, I'd be absolutely fine and I could get on with my day, which is really, really, really lucky. So in that sense, it wasn't bad. That only lasted for about 3 weeks. It's also quite nice because you know that the baby's happy and healthy in there. That is one thing about early pregnancy, is that you don't know how the baby's doing. When you get slightly bigger, there's other signs that you can look at, but when you can't see anything and you can't feel anything, it is quite reassuring, like, okay, something is going on. I didn't have any major cravings, any aversions, smells. I did go off smells a little bit, certain smells in the house, like I couldn't put my finger on it, but that's something that was making me feel absolutely finally sick. Also meat, like I'd sit there eating dinner, like I literally can't eat that. Will I find out the baby's gender? Yes, we absolutely will. Again, something you should know about us is that we love to know everything where possible. Knowledge is power. I don't think I would ever wait to find out the gender unless I was on like my 4th or 5th kid, and by then you really don't care as long as I had one of each. So anyway, yes, and we actually may already know what we're having. We have been really lucky and we have had 3 scans before 13 weeks, which is so lucky. We did a couple private, then we had our NHS one, and on one of our private scans they told us the gender, but I do want to confirm it at the 20-week scan, because she did say that it could be the positioning, it could be inflamed, you don't know. So yes, yes, yes. Do we have any names picked out? Wow, names are hard. Right, so girls' names, so easy, so beautiful, so flowery, so elegant. Boys' names, my issue is that I want a cute name for when they're little, but I want it to be a strong man's name. A strong man's name. Like, I can't be calling them cutesy patootie as they're adult. You know, they just get bullied. So I find boys' names really, really hard. We're really struggling with boys' names. We haven't, we did have a few in the mix, and then we were asking different people and they were like, yeah, so that's the thing. Boys' names are just like, yeah, so girls' names sorted, easy. If it's a girl, yeah, absolutely. If it's a boy, it's going to take a lot of work. Listen to that, it's going to take a lot of work, because I also want to love it straight away. And they said to me, like, you're not going to love a boy's name straight away. They're not as like cutesy and nice as girls' names. True story. That's a lot to edit for me. That is very chatty, but I'm going to bring you so many pregnancy videos that you literally don't even understand. My whole life is so excited to talk about this baby, and I can only talk to Nath so much about what colour baby grows we should get, and how many compartments do we need in the nappy caddy. Should we have a next to me crib or Moses basket next to the bed? That's for us girls to talk about. So I'm very excited to do all of that. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exciting all things baby talk. Honestly, my whole life is made. I literally love this baby so much. I could cry. Sometimes I cry over how much I love this baby.